Yo! All right, so this is gonna be your container build crash course. We're gonna try and run through this as smoothly and quickly as possible. So what you can see here, when you start your container build, you wanna go ahead and install your insulation board on the floor, then put your plywood in. Take into consideration when you're doing this step to leave enough gap for that insulation board to slide down so that you don't have the plywood exposed to the steel. You want insulation all the way wrapped around, plywood on top. So as we move in here, you're gonna see this is what it would look like once our walls are in place, slid down, and the plywood is butted up against, not vice versa. This is sitting against the insulation on the bottom, plywood's butted up against. We went ahead and we taped all of our insulation seams to make sure that everything is airtight. We applied spray foam both at the bottom and the top when we put these in place, so everything is completely sealed. Now you can see here, this is the beginning of how our framing went in. We screwed our bottom track down through the plywood, just tacked in, and the top we actually left free floating. We made little brackets that we just temporarily tacked to the subfloor to hold this wall in place as we moved across. Then we screwed our frames into our frames that we previously showed on another video. If you didn't catch that, you can go back and watch our window detail that includes no welding. We have another one that includes welding, but this is the finished product of the one that has no welding to it. So that's why we have this really reinforced and screwed with big leg screws all the way through into that frame on the outside. Everything is spray foamed, sealed everywhere we can. We want to make sure this thing is really, really well insulated. As we work through the back here, you can kind of see we've got all these walls in. We've got, this is how the top track is going to be installed after you have your insulation up top, because that's going to help hold that in place and allow you to put the insulation super tight. So you're going to install that as you're installing your second wall. But your first wall can go up, just leaving a gap for the insulation to go in. So as we work across the back here, you can kind of see from here back, we have got everything ready essentially for our electrical or any plumbing that needs to be done. And if you don't have that in this area, then this would virtually be ready for drywall. What you can kind of see here is your raw steel running through. We left this open because we have an opening to cut here, but we wanted to go ahead and show you. Again, you can see down here, we've got that spray foam. You don't want to do it this way. We just did this purely just so you could see that we've got this. We would spray foam this cavity and then slide our insulation in and seal it up nice and tight. So every single aspect of this thing is completely sealed. And that's the crash course on Container Building 101.